Are you looking for rookies? Are you looking for producers? Are you looking for people who've got a few deals under their belts? Do you put them through an interview process? Do they take a disc analysis test? Like, what is it that you're putting your prospective team members through to become a team member? And what are you specifically looking for?
You have officially tuned in to another episode of the Enterprise Coaching and Real Talk Podcast with David Adam Kurz. Stay tuned to hear amazing guests give you great content to help your business grow.
Let's begin. All right, welcome everybody to another episode of the Enterprise Coaching. We typically do this every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Today we have a special guest. We did it Thursday at 10 a.m. Stanley Rosen with the Rosen Group up in the Broward area, but dominating the South Florida market for many, many years now. Thank you, Stanley, for being on this webinar with me.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure, David. I mean, to see the effort that you put in every day in your business and in the real estate industry, it's like a gold medal for us.
Oh,
because we need to be respected and understood.
I appreciate that, man. You have no idea how much I appreciate that.
Yes.
So I wanna like dig right into it because we did have some technical difficulties. So for the folks out there, I'm sorry, we're running a little late. Work with us here. I want to talk to you a little bit about, I've had a couple guests on over the past couple weeks, and we've talked in depth about growing teams and doing that kind of stuff. But I want to ask you a few different questions. Like, for instance, you're running a team and you've been running a team for quite some time. How long have you been in the industry?
I've been in the industry since 1999. When I started in 1999, I was a pure listing agent. Listings is the name of the game.
Right.
And at the end of the day, I met Michael Pappas in 1998 and interviewed with Ted Pappas and started with my company in 1999.
Wow, that's amazing. So I'm going to dig into some stuff with you because you're going to come to the table with a wealth of knowledge, probably specifically more knowledge than I could ever give in this webinar, in this podcast. We're pushing this out in so many different ways. And so one of the things that I want to tap in on is, how do you select agents to work with your team? Because over the years, I'm sure that you've learned that not everyone is perfect fit, right? And so what does a perfect fit look like to you? What's your interview process like? And, I've got a million questions. Are you looking for rookies? Are you looking for producers? Are you looking for people who've got a few deals under their belts? Do you put them through an interview process? Do they take a disc analysis test? Like, what is it that you're putting your prospective team members through to become a team member? And what are you specifically looking for?
Well, in all honesty, I give everybody the opportunity. You got to understand there's people that walk in through my door and sit down with me. And just because they're not a professional in real estate doesn't mean they can't be, or if they don't have experience. They weren't born yesterday. They came from another industry. The only thing they're going to do is apply their professionalism and their knowledge of sales and communication with the client in order to mix in with the new business, which is real estate.
Right.
So it's not, in everything in the world, we've always said, and I've said it for many, many years, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Of course.
And people know people, and people know people, and people know people. And that is the best marketing. Now, I want to share something with you. In the first 3 months of this year, we had record-breaking numbers. And then we came into this situation, and, the agents that I have today, it's not about quantity. It's about quality.
I love it, man. And so what is quality to Stan? What is like Stan, if I sit in front of you, rookie agent, let's say I sit in front of you year one. I'm not David Kurz 15 years later. I'm David Kurz year one, right? And I
Right.
sit in front of you. What are you asking me, and what are you looking at from me? Like, what are you expecting?
Enthusiasm,
Okay.
energy,
Okay.
the universe. You see, I'm very analytical by seeing if I can click with the person. I'm very big on character blending. Very big. I use it for my business every day, and I use it amongst my partners, which are very important to me. This wall and everything else around me was developed by me and my group. So we are we, not me.
Right.
And, you know, when people started, I had an agent that had no experience. They worked with me for 9 years, and people have the right to move on. People want to grow. People have change of mind. People want to try something different. And I'm all for it, as long as you sit in front of me and tell me that at the end.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Not just walk out or send me an email or a text. I want you to know that there has to be a positive energy, because when you feel that energy of the individual, you know that they'll be able to adjust to your group with the different personalities and at the same time learn. I cannot take any negativity. I understand it's out there, but it's out of, you know, I get home and I ask my wife, what's happening in the world? Because every channel you turn on, forget if we're in COVID-19, we're in a pandemic and everything is going on in the world. Everything is negative. Everything is negative.
But
And
that's what sells, man. Unfortunately, that's what sells, right? That's why things like, you know, the news and TMZ are so popular, right? Because TMZ is not getting on and going, you know, this celebrity did this wonderful thing. TMZ is trying to catch people slipping, and that's why it's such a popular thing. That's why it's so fun. That's why it's so exciting. People thrive off of negativity. And it's unfortunate because that creates so much of it in the world. And I agree with you there.
You know, and also you got to be careful how you say rookie, because they're rookie to the industry, but they're not a rookie to life.
Yeah.
So they got to have good beginnings.
If you would have met year one, it would have been right out of the Marine Corps, man. I wouldn't even know how to walk like a civilian.
You know, it's just energy, David. It's all energy. How I see the person. It's really not judgmental in seeing how much sales they have. I put effort into the game. I've had people on my team that have lost 10 deals in a row.
Right.
And they left. They quit. You know, in this business, it's not easy.
It's not.
You know, you got to learn how to fall, and you got to learn how to get up and pat yourself down and keep going.
And I'm glad that you brought that up, because I think, you know, I truly believe that a lot of people, most people, I'm going to go 98% of people, get their real estate license with the wrong intentions and the wrong ideas. You know, I think that a lot of people get their real estate license and say, especially in Miami being such a popular place, I could compare it to Miami, New York, and LA, right? Like these three places, wow, what a place to be a real estate agent. You know what I mean? And now that's kind of getting a little bit, I had an hour-long conversation this morning with an agent from Miami who happens to do a lot of business in Nashville. And he's up in Nashville. He's been there for 3 months, right? And he says, Dave, the market in Nashville is insane. Like 5,000 square foot, 5.5 on the lake, you know, and it's $1 million, you know? And he said, I've never seen the Miami market as hot as this. So that aside, we're talking hot markets where people think, okay, I'll go take this, 70-something hour class, right? Or whatever it is, this 7-day, 9-to-5 class at whatever school. And I'm going to turn around and I'm going to, in a year, I'm going to be top producer. I'm going to be banking. I'm going to be killing it. I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to be doing that. You know, it's just not an easy job to do. This is not for the faint of heart. This takes work. It takes effort. You and I know a lot of people in this industry that are great, and you see the greatness in them. You see the effort they put in. You see the people like us, but there's the Lori Readers, there's the Riley Smiths, you see the effort that's put into the amount of work. and strength that they're putting every day into the business. So what do you say to somebody coming in new into the industry and says, Stan, I'm gonna get my license. What do you want to say to me, Stanley?
Well, I want you to apply what you have learned in life today. I want you to tell me what you've done in your past. I want to know what type of motivation and drive you have, because honestly, I want them to learn, because if I like the person, I see a positive energy behind them.
Right.
I work with them. I want to work with them. Now, yes, we've been a team since 2003, because at the beginning of my career in 1999, I was a pure listing agent, just listing properties and marketing. And I let all those buyers fly by me because I couldn't handle it. It's the inexperience. It's the knowledge. If you tell me now, I'll have a shrimp net next to me to catch them all. You understand? I won't let one slide. But at the end of the day, I think real estate is simple, but it's tedious. There's a lot of I's to dot, a lot of T's to cross. You could be a superstar agent, David, but we're dealing with a realtor, with an appraisal, with an inspection, with a mortgage broker, with a title company. And you see, when you're hired, and this individual that's going to start has to understand that you got to be on top of those people, okay, until their job is complete. And the mortgage person, till the time you're sitting at the closing table. Okay, it's very important that they understand that everything is on you. When I get a listing, people look at me and say, hey, Stan, I hired you. Why wasn't this done right? They don't want to hear.
It's funny. I 2 years ago, I had this argument with a lender and Rudy Hernandez, which the owner of New World.
Yes.
We were sitting in Rudy's backyard. It was Rudy, a lender, and myself, and there was a little bit of scotch involved and a couple cigars.
Right.
And we were literally having a debate on who the real middleman is in a transaction. And I'm laughing there because they actually thought it was them, right? And so I feel like everybody feels like they are being pulled in every direction in this transaction. But look, in my opinion, and obviously in yours, the real estate agent is who the client goes to and says, hey, man, I hired you. I asked you to help me. You introduced me to this title company. You introduced me to this mortgage company. You are responsible.
Yeah, well, that's a difference. That's different. But you see, let me explain to you something. When a buyer's agent comes with their client, I have limited conversations with their client because I don't represent.
Right.
So I have to make sure. I used to be on top of the agent. Now I request all the information from the mortgage company, and I'm on them like flies on what.
Yeah.
So, and that is the most important person, because he's the cash register. You understand? And if we don't have a good cash register, we ain't making a deal. And at the end of the day, if a new person that comes onto the team can apply that along with his pre-profession, that he had customer service, that he had interaction with customers, if he was in the hospitality business, if he was in the construction business, whatever they want to apply, you had to have professional standards. So at the end of the day, David, to answer your question, if I like the agent's motivation and energy to succeed, I'm game.
No, that's
okay.
Awesome.
Because the more popular an agent becomes and the more they sell, the more they want.
So let me ask you this. How long do you evaluate that feeling, right? Like, so I'll be honest with you, on my team, we have a 14-day conversation, a 30-day conversation, a 60 and a 90. And at the end of the 90 days, I think we have a good idea whether or not they're messing with the team or not, right? I mean, honestly, if they made it to day 90, they're probably going to make it, right? But But, you know, at that point, we've determined whether they mesh or not. How do you determine that? How do you determine the mesh? What's, you know,
I've been extremely poor in that division. And I admit to that because what happens is I'm so busy.
right.
I'm going crazy. I'm doing a bunch of different things to do everything for the group because the group is my support beam. My partners is the heart of the business because they're out there running and hustling and trying to make it happen. And I'm available for them 24/7. So I've slacked on that, but probably about 60 days ago, you know, this whole situation that's going on in the world, the biggest sadness is that there's people dying. But at the end of the day, we have to keep going. We are an essential business, and I never have shut down. I've always been present throughout the whole, this whole situation going on. So, you know, I don't know.
How do you train your team with that? So let's talk about COVID right now. Like, it sucks. It is what it is. You know, we were on track Q1 to hit 30 mil, and that got side turns. So now we're shifting and turning and dodging and jabbing and, you know, doing everything that we have to do to make sure that we're ultimately successful in this. But, you know, how do you feel about, you know, you just mentioned it. I never stopped working. I kept going. What about
70 days since March 9th, since March 9th that I can recall, none of my partners at this moment have let me down. Now, please understand, stay safe. Don't put yourself in a health hazardous position.
100%.
Follow the CDC guidelines and don't cross the line.
Yeah.
And I can only tell you that right now, May 14th, I am extremely content to have amazing power agents that can deliver the service, the experience, and their work ethics to make it happen. And they have done it on their own. I've hadn't had to push the button once. And that's the truth about a team, because we have Zoom meetings every Monday. And by the way, everybody's talking Zoom. Their stock must be rocking. But anyways, because it's like a Xerox copy.
Look what happened to us this morning. We tried to get away from it, and now we
couldn't get away from it.
Drawn right back to it.
At the end of the day, it was like a Xerox copy. Now I was on a Zoom meeting. Yeah. So, at the end of the day, my partners, because they're not my employees, they don't work for me.
Right.
We work for each other. I am a non-compete on the team.
Interesting. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Everything is for my group. But today, more than ever, I can tell you that I have an amazing group.
That's awesome.
I'm blessed, and they're the ones that have turned it on. And I can't even believe half of the things without me even having to say a word.
They're excited. They're pumped. And it's a good sign of your leadership, Stan, by the way. So don't take that away from yourself, because whether you feel like you're pushing the buttons or not, they're still there with you, and they're making it happen, which means that they see the bigger picture in the team as a group, as a whole, as a unit, which is not a very easy thing to do. I think any leader will tell you that it's not easy to lead people. It's not easy to get a group of people to believe in one goal and do something fantastic together. That's why in sports, if you look at basketball, baseball, everyone, it's the team that had the ultimate vision, the ultimate camaraderie, the ultimate true round vision all together that gets to the championship, trophy.
I've fallen on my face a lot, but I think that's what's given me this alligator skin I carry around all day long. I can only tell you that, at the end of the day, sometimes you're a stud and sometimes you could be a dud.
Sometimes you're a stud, sometimes you're a dud.
That's it. And it happens in this business. And a lot of people, I'm very outspoken. I like to tell the truth. And
Awesome.
be careful when you question me, because I'm going to have facts.
Yeah.
You see, I only do things with facts. People don't like it. I've been told by numerous people I'm not allowed to comment on your Facebook. I don't get it.
So they're not commenting on our views right now? What's going on here, man?
I don't know. I don't know.
Hey, by the way, if you guys are watching on Facebook, which there's a ton of you watching on Facebook, if you've got questions for me or Stan, feel free to go ahead and ask while we're in here, and we will. I have them here on my phone. I'm watching them. So anything that you guys have to ask, go ahead and stay in there. Obviously, there's a lot of hashtags Stan the Man, which is great, because even for the folks, for every one person that is not allowed to post on your comments, there are 10 to 20 other ones who are super excited to be in.
Well, let me just tell you, David, I think, honestly, we need to respect every agent, whether they started yesterday or they've been in the business for 30 years. What I see on social media is the lack of applause for people that are successful.
Yeah.
Now, if you put your pet animal passed away, you'll take roll call on your Facebook, because you'll have everybody that you know that watches you. Yeah. And it's very sad. I was talking with Lori yesterday. We had a great conversation for about 30 to 45 minutes. You know, I told her, you know, she's a star. You're a star. I don't know what I am. I don't want to be the best. I'm trying to be the best, meaning that I want to learn. I want to help others. People have a misconception of Stanley Rosen. Stanley Rosen is not arrogant. Stanley Rosen is very confident in what he does. I want everybody to succeed. There is enough for everybody. Yep, the sky's the limit. We have to applaud one another every time they have a successful moment, not just for tragedies, for deaths, for accidents. We got to be there all the way around, and it's very, very sad.
It's funny. I go through social media. Somebody puts up a new listing. I give them a like. I don't care what company you're with. I really don't. I don't. Like, if you want to be a part of our company, great. Come on over. If you're not, I still love you. You know what I mean?
David, I need you.
Applaud everybody's excitement. You know, and it's funny that you mentioned that. If I go on Facebook and I say, you know, something tragic happened to me, you know, like you said, roll call. I have 7,000 comments. But for 2 weeks, I've been posting, help me raise money for the fight against child abuse. And I've got 5,000 people on Facebook, 30,000 people on Instagram, and we're just barely breaking $2,000. And so I think to myself, if 5,000 people donated $5, what would that look like? You know what I mean?
We brought that up. I brought that up to you.
We would just work wonders. And you know, listen, some people can, some people can't. If you can't, hey, listen, it's all good. I've seen some of the people that have not donated and have shared it. And I'm assuming, okay, this person, they can't do it, but they're doing their very best to promote the event, you know? And it's funny, I do Toys for Tots every year. You know, I was in the Marine Corps for 9 years. So that's a big passion for me. You know, hey, we're collecting toys. Again, 5,000 people here, 30,000 people there, and it's hard to get a few toys in. So, but my dog died, like you said, and everybody's like, "Ay, Dios mío, yo no creo, what happened? Oh my God," you know. And that's something that we were talking about earlier, is the drawing of the negativity. People are very much attracted to negativity, and less attractive to positivity, right? That's why dramas are popular movies and action flicks are popular movies, you know, and you know, even love films are popular movies because there's always a tragedy in a love film, you know? And so, you know, all these things matter. But you're right. There's enough business out there for everyone. We should absolutely be applauding everyone. And we talked a little bit about, you know, what would you advise a new agent coming into the industry? You talked about motivation, have the spark, put what you know to work for you, which I'll be honest with you, I wish that I had that conversation with you when I came into the industry. It was very difficult for me, for someone like me, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about veterans out there. For those of you folks that know veterans, right? It's very difficult for a veteran to leave a decade in the military or 2 decades in the military and come out here and act like you. It's borderline impossible, right? And then the harder part is the military doesn't do a very good job on transition. So it's kind of like, okay, you're out, here's your paperwork. Thank you for your service. Maybe you get a hug, maybe not. Plane ticket home, and that's it, And so I came out here and I didn't know how to correlate what I had learned in the military to what I do today for many years. And I owe a lot to a gentleman by the name of George Waldenberg, who owns a steel company in Aventura. And I went to work with him for a little while. And he taught me sales. He taught me the passion for sales, and he got me in the business of sales. And he said to me, he goes, I'm going to hire you. You obviously have no experience in sales, but I know you won't be late, and I know you won't leave early, and I know you won't screw around in the middle of the day because you're coming with that Marine Corps mentality. And I did. And year 1 and 2 and 3 that I was with the guy, I was the top guy on his floor. And I fell in love with sales, which is what correlated me getting into real estate, because this is sales and I'm not stuck in an office all day. I can be out and about, where I was stuck in a cubicle and I started to see it like my coffin, coming out of the Marine Corps, you can't go straight stuck to a cubicle,
I mean, I worked at an accounting firm after, I got out of college and stuff like that. And I said to myself, this is not for me. I'm not going to count other people's millions. I was doing reconciliations all day long for large corporations. I said,
I want somebody to count my millions.
I'm glad I caught it early.
I want somebody to count my millions, baby.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I mean, everybody, like I said, you give everybody the benefit of the doubt. The sphere of influence is really big at the beginning. Would you say? You talk to the people that know you, give me an opportunity. I want you to know that I'm working with a top group, which are with top producers. Stan is my partner. Another person in the team is my, what I try to do is I make them feel part of our success from the beginning, because what they did is what you did. You became the #1 salesperson right when you got out of that army, and that person that gave you the opportunity, you became the top guy. So when you moved over to real estate, okay,
it was quick for me.
You applied all your professionalism, and all you had to do was learn about the products.
And here's the best part, as a Marine, and now we'll get into what it takes to be a successful real estate agent. It's only one thing. You have to be willing to put in the work. Right? Because in the Marine Corps, we're workers. We wake up in the morning, we go on runs, we exercise, go back home, we change back into a uniform, and we go and we grind it out all day long, whatever that means. We put in the work, we do our part. If you did that every day with your business, if you woke up in the morning, went for a run, worked out, went home, changed, put on your uniform, which is, your polo or your suit or whatever it is that day, and you go to the office and you actually put in the work. Not, make the calls, talk to your sphere of influence, go A to Z on your telephone, send the emails, do the marketing, do the videos, have the interviews, say yes to everything, go work, go show. Don't, it's Sunday, I don't want to show properties. Screw you. Sunday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, go on your client's time. Make it work. You're not ready to take Sundays off until you've put yourself in a position where you're leveraging an entire team, and you can say, you know what, I've got a great team with great managers and great leaders. I'm going to take Sundays off, and if I'm needed, come get me. You can get there. But in the beginning, ladies and gentlemen, stop it. Stop it.
Office environment is very important. We have an excellent office environment. It's a very peaceful environment. Yeah, we get rowdy. There's no doubt about that. The company that I'm with has been very successful in the last 2 months, delivering so much information to the agents, keeping them motivated. I mean, I'm astounded in how much effort they have put to keep everybody motivated by having webinars, keeping everybody together and attached. And
it's so important to have that kind of company to back you up. That kind of leadership. You know, the company that I'm with, we're supposed to have the shareholder summit last month in Orlando, and obviously got canceled because of all the craziness that was happening. So what did they do? They actually like got their whole like technology and IT team together, and they built a online expo center. I'm talking about with vendor booths and everything, and breakout session rooms and auditoriums and classes and everything. And it started on Tuesday with the CEO. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 75 breakout sessions, lots of great information, lots of great stuff. And for me, that's like, man, like you're not stopping giving to your agents. And that's more than anything to me. Like right now it's COVID, I could stay home. You know, I could not come to the office. I could stop doing interviews, right? Which, by the way, now that there's COVID, everybody's doing interviews, but I could stop doing these interviews. But I've been hosting interviews for 4 or 5 years now. Why would I stop?
You're a motivator, David. You're a motivator. Reader's a motivator.
George, you love George. George is my team manager. George is on the other side of the office right now. He lives 5 minutes away from the office. He could have stayed home. He could have done his work from home. I don't care if he does or doesn't. I'm good with it. But he comes to the office. He gets, you know, Ray's my squad leader. Ray's going to be here any minute now. If Ray is watching, today is cigar day. Bring the cigars.
I love them.
Great stuff is happening, man. You know,
you're very, just like you are. I have an amazing group. Very supportive. They invest in themselves. Talk about that. You haven't talked about that. Think about that. My team members today are investing themselves to better us.
Right.
They're not just expecting Stan, what's going on? What are we going to do?
Where are we going? Which way?
That's why I know that my core right now is stronger than ever, because they take the big word that I love, the initiative. That word to me is the initiative. So with the positive environment, you know, everybody needs a home to live in. Everybody needs a roof. Yes, we're going through this situation. It shall pass. And at the end of the day, everybody's got to respect everyone. You know, I went yesterday to go buy crab legs, and everybody wanted crab legs. So I go into the seafood place, and this lady was standing within a foot of another lady. The lady has turned around and told her to get the F away, move away. I mean, and you know, I don't know, but I just walked up.
People freaking out.
I stay, you know, I got up to about 6 feet, and I said, ladies, come on, we got enough things going on in the world. Why are we fighting in the middle of a seafood market? You know, come on. You know, so I don't know. I mean, I love peace. That's very important for me. I like tranquility. I like to have fun, David. You know how I am. Crazy man. You know, a lot of people.
So let's do this. We're gonna do some surefire spitfire. You ready?
Yep.
So I'm gonna make a quick comment, and then we'll do yay or nay at the end, or you know, however I word it. You guys ready?
Yeah.
All right. Real estate associations, necessary or necessary evil?
Boy, you put you know, let me tell you something.
Necessary or necessary evil? Let's start there.
Necessary evil.
All right. That's it. That's good. That's good.
You know, you know what?
A lot of people watching this may or may not know, but you've had a lot to say about the support and everything that happens. And I would like to dig into that a little bit, because I have my opinions.
Well, I don't have a problem.
You know, I don't have a problem with them either. You know,
look, listen, let me explain to you, because you opened a can of worms, and
let's do it.
We're going to talk about it. I want, and I'm going to say it live on Facebook, and everybody can hear me out. I want Teresa Kinney to get on a video and motivate us and drive us, just like our broker does, to let us know we're good, to let us know where is she. Where is our person?
All right, so I will say this, and I'll give you the complete opposite mentality for me. Coming as a broker owner, my opinion, right, is that they're too involved. So we're on different wavelengths. You as a real estate agent and team leader are saying, where are you? Where's your motivation?
No, David,
Hear me out
I'm
here.
talking about the board. The board. There's a lot of confused agents. This is not for anybody. The president of our company is doing live videos.
Yeah. He
calls me on the spot. He'll call anybody on this company. Then Christina, the
She's
star
awesome.
right behind him.
Star. She was on our show a couple weeks ago.
So, you got people motivated. I want to know what's going on with the board. What are we going to do? Should we give our agents a break? We've been on shutdown. We haven't been able to use the facilities. I know they got the programs. Andrea Monserrati, or Maserati, whatever her name is, she asked the question. I put it right there on Facebook. I put it right there. It's not necessary. It isn't. Why? It's a paid designation. If it's an earned designation, that's a little different.
Let me ask you this. Associations should give classes or should stay away from giving classes?
I think it's an option. I think everybody always has the willing to learn. Okay. The association is very strong about that. Don't take it.
And listen, I'll tell you something.
Miami board is an awesome board. Don't get me wrong.
They are. Listen, and we're making that clear. The Miami board is a fantastic board, but I don't want to just focus on them. I want to focus on boards across the country, right?
Right. Because, well, I can't speak for other boards.
And I'll tell you something, and this is my opinion. Miami board is doing a fantastic job. They're kicking butt. They've got good leadership in place. They've got agent leaders, right? Like the Christinas and the Georges and all these guys, right? As a broker owner, when any association gives too much to the agents, too many classes on social media and this and that, and blah, 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 you take away my competitive edge, right? So why, it's a part of the commission split problem, why we've gone from 60 to 100%, it's a part of that because you've taken away my competitive edge. So how do I compete with other brokerages out there, right? If my association, who should be leading the way, is taking away my entire training platform, right? And so that's one of the opinions I've always had. It's never going to stop. And I'll tell you that they give some amazing classes at the Miami Association, man. I just wish that they stuck to stuff that was designation or credit related, like for licensing and things like that. And the classes are great. And now I know that they've been doing a lot of classes online. They've gone virtual. So they've been trying to help out in that sense. But again, I'm on the opposite spectrum, All right, next question. Facebook agent success stories, true or not?
Facebook agent success stories.
True or not? All the stories that you see out there, agents talking about themselves.
I know
you pay attention, Stanley. That's why I'm asking you these questions.
Well, I pay attention, but, it depends because, social media, I've been calling Facebook fake book ever since it started because, I know people that are kissing on Facebook and fighting at home. So I don't know. I don't know about social media. It's just so everybody's nosy about everybody's life,
Right. All right. Next question. New agents in the industry, join a team or no team?
Join a team.
Join a team. Why? Tap into that.
Well, I think it's an acceleration into the industry. Of course, management is always going to say they're going to make less money and all this stuff. And at the end of the day, they don't, and they could make more money based on volume. It all depends on splits. You see, what happens is when the agent graduates or gets their degree or whatever, the certificate at the schools, right now I want 100%, and 100% on nothing is nothing.
Yep.
You understand? And when I first came to Kai's, I told Pappas that I want to be next to a star. So he introduced me to Gene Kachik and Marta Dupree. And, these people are legends, in the industry. And if they would have had a team, I would have jumped onto there, learned, and then move on from there, because we all have a foundation and a base.
Right. If I would have done things differently, I agree with you. If I could turn back the clock, I always tell folks this, I would have joined a great team. So and knowing that I wouldn't have been there forever, because my goal is always to be, top,
right, to learn,
top salesperson, top of the top. That's my goal now, and not on a local level. I'm pushing to do top national level. So that's something that I agree with you on. Definitely, new agents should really look into team growth and get away from the 100%. And look, there are 1,000 100% companies out there, or 1 million. There are very, very few, 1% of them, that are really, really going above and beyond for their agents because they can. I can only name maybe 3 in the country that I know, so, and I'm talking about, the giving the classes and having.
But David, let me ask you a question.
And everything under the sun.
David, let me ask you a question. How come the top producers, the top people in this industry in South Florida, why aren't we there?
I think, and that's a great question. I think there's going to be a shift. I think the top producers in the country have been in the industry for more than a decade. And I think that they're doing things at a very high level, and you will begin to see a shift over the next 10 years, I'm going to say, because I think if you're surrounding yourself by greatness, then you're in good hands. And it's one of the reasons why I made the move that I made, and everybody out there watching knows what we did. But, when I started to see the names of the people that had made the move and that I would have direct access to them for any question under the sun, in my brain, I was like, shit, this is a no-brainer. Like I'm about to fast track my sales team like no other,
Right.
And when you can do that, I think it makes a big difference. People want to be associated with people that are above them. So top producers are looking to be associated with people that are doing better than them, because if not, they're hitting a glass ceiling. They're going to stay exactly where they are. I was a KW guy back in the day, and the KW office that I was at, and KW is a great company all over the world. But the particular office that I was at, I was top producer like month over month. And I left. And not because I disliked the company, but because I felt like I wasn't going to grow, right? Because there was no one to chase.
Right.
And so when you're the top producer year over year, I don't want to be that guy. And the numbers I was putting on the board, to me, were inadequate. Like I would look at myself like, you're here and you're killing it. I do $10-15 million a year, $20 million a year. And then you go to KW family reunion and you meet somebody doing $400 million a year and you go, oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. You go home, it's like you walked in with like a puffed out chest. The guy came over and popped your bubble, and you go back home and now you start to put and implement that kind of stuff. And so as a broker owner, we were growing, we were doing great. We were pushing big and we were attracting a lot of great agents. But at the same time, I felt like there was a glass ceiling and I wanted to grow way past that. And so,
right.
So I made the move that I made, right? All right, last question. Technology, just a tool or a mandatory state of mind today?
Mandatory state of mind, man.
Awesome, I'm glad.
It's got to be a mandatory state of mind. I mean, I can't tell you how much I dislike it. It took, ladies and gentlemen, it was my fault that David was late. Because David was up and running and I wasn't. That's where I call my right hand, my team manager, Kathy, which I love dearly, to be here. And when she's not here, I kind of panic. I almost threw the phone out the window and said, forget it.
I couldn't hear you, but I could see the expression on your face.
No, I almost, So, you know, it's difficult, but it's a mandatory state of mind. I'm getting a little bit better. I think what I've become is a good team player with delegating and working with my group in order for everybody to be successful. I am doing something today that I promise you no other team is doing in South Florida. Number one, we're going to have the highest splits. So we're not going to even talk about that. But number one, I'm individually branding to the fullest my partners so we all go up together. I don't want this. I changed my name to Home Pro Agents. I don't want it to be about Stanley Rosen. I want it to be about us, not Stanley Rosen and Group, all our partners.
Gotcha.
And I want to make them all strong. And later on, if they decide to do whatever they do, it is what it is. They were going to do it anyway.
Anyway, yep, you're absolutely right. Okay, I'm gonna go with one more. The real estate business. Is it a sales business or a marketing business?
Combination of both. You know, I mean, you have sphere of influence and you have marketing to get business. You know, I mean, it's both to me. I mean, you need both because you need to be on the spectrum to be remembered. You know, out of sight, out of mind. You know that favorite saying? I tell that to my team members. I don't see you. I don't give you. It's not that I don't love you. It's just I'm not seeing you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and I personally do not micromanage, but I do hold heavy accountability, and now more than ever.
Okay. All right, man. Well, I think we're going to close it. Thank you very much for doing this with me today. You know, I know it was an off day. By the way, happy birthday.
You got it, buddy. 53. I feel great. I've put my life in order as far as my business. I have an amazing family, David, that I can't even tell you. My wife deserves a medal. I don't know, the biggest medal you can make to put up with me, because what happened is I'm very strong-minded. But I want you to understand what that means. I want everybody to do well, David.
Yeah.
I don't want to see anybody hurting anybody. We have to applaud everybody, not just in the real estate industry, in everything you see.
In every fashion. Absolutely.
In every fashion. And be truthful to yourselves. And, you know, going back before we cut it out, you know, I just feel that it'd be nice if the board can do some type of video commercial for the agents, send them to and tell them that we're going to be okay. We're doing this. We're applying this. We're doing that. Something, you know, just like my company has done. I can't even tell you. And like you're doing and like we're doing. You know, I am very protective of everything. I'm not trying to be the best. I'm always trying and working to get better. And understand that this business is not a free ride. You know, stop watching those TV shows, man. Because when I look at those TV shows, I say, where's the inspection? Where's the appraisal?
You didn't know?
I mean,
$10 million properties without any
the guy signing on the dotted line, and they got and they put the commission $150,000, but they didn't put what it took to get there. So, you know, at the end of the day, I really appreciate you. I appreciate my peers, whether you're new or not.
Yep.
Let's rock and world. And if I can say one thing out there on social media, we need to respect one another and try to accept as much as possible, because you're never going to change anybody. We all adjust. Okay. We all adjust, but we need to work together as a group.
Absolutely. I'm going to give some shout outs to people that were on today. A lot of people, Lori Reeder was on today, Stan Demand, Leda, the pros. Thank you so much. Paulina's watching. George is watching. Samantha's watching. Jean is watching. Alan's watching. A lot of people loving Stan Demand. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much, Paulina. Kathy Hyatt's watching. James Brandley, Alan, Martha, all you guys, thanks a lot for watching. Chris Tello, hey, what's up, buddy? Let's see.
I love that guy, Tello. He's a great man.
Love Stan's energy and how he loves his partners. Happy late birthday, Stanley. We got some good ones in there. Absolutely, sky is the limit. Paulina says, she says that there's enough business out there for all of us. If we all learn to work together in the industry, it would be a much better industry all the way across. Martha says, damn right, 24/7. We got to put in the work. Ray says, I'm en route and I have the cigars.
Hey, can I tell you something? I want to share something with you that's very important. Kathy Hyatt is the perfect example of how realtors need to treat other realtors. I've been a big fan of hers. She's been a fan of mine. She's a fan of yours. And at the end of the day, she's the perfect example. There's not one time that she doesn't congratulate me, that she doesn't call me, that she wishes me the best. That's what I love to do. When I was talking to Lori last night, I was going, Lori, you did such a beautiful job on the expressway with your boards and standing together and your benches. You know, we've joked in the past about that, but it's such a beautiful thing. And you know what? The only thing, and I'm getting goosebumps, I don't know if that happens at age 53, but I'm telling you, I mean it from the bottom of my heart. World, real estate agents, people, let's love and respect and cheer ourselves on so we can all rise to the top.
Amazing.
And I'll close it up with that.
Thank you so much for that. I've got all kinds of great folks out here. Jonathan Bailey, thank you, gentlemen. I really appreciate your time from New Haven, Connecticut. Great show. Penny says, oh my God, love Kathy Hyatt. So lots of love coming to all kinds of different directions.
Penny is another one. She's another one. She applauds you.
Penny's amazing. I hope everyone got a lot of great information out of this. I know you did. This sound will be moved into a podcast, will be available by tomorrow. Video will be moved into YouTube, and the Facebook Live will remain. If you ever want to know what we're doing and how we're doing it and what sessions are coming up, text the word enterprise with the number 1, enterprise 1 to 33222. Enterprise 1 to 33222. We won't overwhelm you with a bunch of bullshit text messages. We're just going to let you know when we're doing cool events like this, and that's it. You can log in if you want. We're going to keep it Facebook Live moving forward. We're going to get away from going on to Zoom calls. We're going to keep it on Facebook. Everybody has a Facebook. We'll go live on multiple channels, and just keep an eye out for us. We're going to keep bringing amazing people like Stan onto the stage and having these conversations over and over and over and over and over again. I'm committed to do them weekly. On Tuesday, I am leaving for 5 weeks on an 11,000-mile road trip. My wife is a Harley rider. I'm a Harley rider. We're going to take our 2 bikes. We're going to begin in Miami and work our way around the United States. And if the Canadian borders open, we're even going to peek into some of the Canadian provinces and visit them. The purpose, twofold. We were going to do it anyway. But then we decided to make it a charity ride, and now we're raising money to fight or raise awareness of child abuse and fight child abuse in any which way that we can. A lot of folks don't know this, but my wife and I were intending to adopt. As a part of adopting in our county, we had to go to the foster classes because this county wants you to force you into foster care before you're allowed to adopt. After 6 weeks or 7 weeks of classes and watching why children end up in the foster system, we knew we weren't the people made for that. And so I applaud all the foster parents out there that are putting their hearts and souls into children. We stay in communication with a lot of the folks from our class. But after seeing how children were abused and things like that, we knew we weren't meant for the fostering section or the adoption section from the foster program, but we knew we could give back in a different way. So this is our way of supporting the system and taking care of the kids out there. More kids are abused than we ever know, mentally, verbally, and physically, and sexually. So, just help us out, and we'll be out on the road. We're going to share a link with everybody on Tuesday. And that link is going to work for 12 hours a day, and it'll tell you where we are in the country. You'll be able to log in and see us on the map moving through the states. Stanley, thanks again for doing this with me, man. I appreciate you so much, dude.
Love you, brother.
Yeah, love you, man.
You got it.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Tell you what, if you enjoyed the show, make sure that you text Enterprise1 to 33222 and stay tuned for future podcasts, future shows. Check us out on YouTube. Check us out everywhere. You can't miss the show.